Howdy, howdy. How we doing? Let me pause the music real quick. Maybe if I can find it. I really need to figure out how to get my Stream Deck to work with OBS. I think I'm gonna have to roll back some updates. But anyways, hi, happy Tuesday. Welcome back. We are continuing our journey to dystopian Oz today. This will be the third part. I am hoping today we're gonna put some pops of color on our scarecrow, and hopefully get the grass done on this page. I think we'll see where we get. I do have to stop at probably about 1300 today. My kiddo has a dentist appointment, so we'll see where we get, and if we finish over here or get to a point where I need to let this side dry, then we'll come back over here and work on the twister. But for today, I think we are gonna start working a little bit on adding in some color over on this page right here. So I hope you guys are doing well. I know I guess I sort of started a little earlier today. Usually I like to boot up about 5 minutes before the actual stream start time. I know sometimes I'm not always the greatest with that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started so we can maximize our productivity on this before I have to stop for kitty feeding time. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the music back on, chill out and vibe, and we'll get started. Hey Sonia, how are ya? With our 80s montage music. Well, I gotta turn my headset down. Let me know if the music is too loud, and I can knock it back just a little bit. How's your day going, Sonia? Okay, so I think let's start with our scarecrow's overalls here. I'm gonna start down here because I'm not sure how... Okay, that's not too bad. I wasn't sure how dark this blue was gonna be. Musical crusade, not too loud. Very 80s montage. I know, right? As soon as it came on, I was like, oh, okay, alright. We're it's an 80s coloring montage. Okay, I actually like that. Yeah, I like that blue. It's a nice, contrast to all of the muted tones. I'll have to darken up some of these shadows down here, or that area behind where he's behind the lion, but that's not a huge deal because this is a base coat anyways, base layer. Day's not too bad. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Not too bad here either. I would have liked to have gotten some more editing done, but I had other things to do this morning, so probably just try and use tomorrow morning as an editing day. I have something. Well, I have a flip through I need to record tomorrow, so. But that one won't require too much editing, so. We will split the day tomorrow. So it's just like, I had it in my mind. I was like, yesterday, I was like 2 hours. I just need to block off like 2 hours of my day to start editing some footage. And it was like every time I hit a point where I was ready to like sit down, oh, your groceries are on the way. And I'm like, oh great, that's cool. And then groceries got here, put them away, and I'm like, well, I'm half an hour from cat feeding time. Let's see how much I can get done. And then I ended up with a cat in my lap. Hey, Rainbow Kitten, how are ya? How goes it? Oh, let me see. I need to check. I need to look at a reference photo here. I don't think I'm going to be able to do what I had originally planned. Hold on. No, okay. So originally I was thinking I should have, although I guess I could probably, I have it out here. I don't know how it would look with the overalls. So I was thinking about doing the overalls in green, like the I totally just lost my train of thought because this absolutely sounds like it's a song from the 80s. And I can't remember what the name of it is. Anyways, segue. I thought about doing the overalls in green, kind of like the Scarecrow from the movie, but either that or brown. But there's too much. There's already a lot of like brown elements in here, so I actually think I'm gonna stick with the blue. So now I'm trying to decide what color I want to do his shirt. Because then I thought about doing the shirt in like an olive green, but then there's going to be a whole bunch of green down here for the grass. So I could... Kind of sounds a little bit like Sledgehammer. Maybe. No, not Dark Side of the Moon. Hold on. It's right on the tip of my tongue. It's, New Sensation by NXS. That's what the beginning of that reminded me of. It took me a minute, but I was like, I know it reminds me of something. Also, hi, Dustcatcher. And thank you, Rainbow Kitten, for the kind words about the page. Here, I'll put it back on. It's just that opening chord really just reminded me of something in excess. I don't know. What do we think about doing the shirt in like a reddish pink color? Because we're gonna have pink up here for the brain, and we're gonna have a darker... I've pulled some darker reds over here for the blood on this. Maybe that will kind of like tie it together if we make his shirt kind of a pinkish red. Oh, we are glad to have you here. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. We're just gonna do it. So I'm gonna lay down a base layer of pink, and then I'm gonna use some of the reds. We're just gonna trust the process here. It's gonna be amazing. I feel very caffeinated this morning. So I ran out of my mushroom coffee, so I've been drinking the regular coffee. I've also been like getting up at like 5:45. An interesting playlist. Okay, I can't do all of the sounds on this song. Next. Next. Oh, that's interesting. Seriously, why is this... Why is this not coming out darker? Okay, I'm gonna have to wait for his shirt to dry before I do this, apparently. I can't get enough pigment off of the crayon. So let's go ahead and put some pink up here on our brain. This sounds like something from Animaniacs. So I want some areas of... Let me zoom us in a little. So I want some areas of this to be darker than others because I want it to look like the metal of the axe is kind of showing through. This is a little too... That's a little too pink. Or... Your guinea pig says hi. Aw. Hi, Fuzzy Potato. Mine would say hi if they weren't downstairs. How old is your guinea pig, and is it a male or a female? 5 females. Aw. I just have 2 boys right now. At one point we I think the most we had was 7. And then we ended up at 6 for a while. And hey Pam, how are you? Your page looks crazy. Uh-oh. Like good crazy, bad crazy? Are you not happy with it crazy, or... Horrible trash can worthy. Oh no! Like what medium are you using? Have I seen him? I have seen on Instagram he shares over there, but I think he's taking a YouTube break. I know at one point he was taking a break from streaming, and then I think he decided to just take a break from YouTube, like all around. And if I recall correctly, I can't remember if it was last month or if it was this month, that he was moving in with his brother. So I know he was probably super busy with that, and I believe he had started a new job as well. So, but he's been sharing some of his Kit and Clouder pages over on Instagram, I think, unless he's taking a break from that as well. Messed it up with using a shiny medium, and you were using markers. Water-based markers? Alcohol markers? Yeah, he's still over on Instagram. Alcohol markers? Are you on Instagram? Or Discord? Gosh. Oh god, I can't get comfortable in this chair. Cataracts. Cataracts. Because I was gonna say, if you are comfortable with sending me, if you want to send me a picture either on Insta or on Discord of what you've got so far, I might be able to help you figure out a way to salvage it. Like what shiny medium did you use? Like, was it paint? Was it where your was your shiny was your shiny medium? Was that also markers? Because I mean, the marker portion of it, that can probably be recovered with some colored pencil work over top of it. Daniel Smith watercolor grounds, and that was fine. Oh, so you did a page prep and then use your alcohol markers over the top of the watercolor grounds, okay? So here's my here's my thought on that. It is definitely an option to be able to use alcohol markers in your double-sided books, but I feel like what a lot of people who are really like hot to trot about using the watercolor grounds don't tell you is that your marker is going to pool on the top of your watercolor grounds. You are not going to be able to blend your markers to the same level that you would on just paper, so you kind of have to account for that. And it is very easy, if you don't know that and are not paying attention, to drag your hand through your markers and muck up your page. So it does come with some drawbacks. I was running out of it. Someone suggested gesso and I went and got some, but the gesso was shiny and it's very hard. Yeah, I have also, we'll take a break. We'll let this dry for a minute. Let me see what we've got here. So I've got a couple different I really need to start using some of this stuff. I've got latex. I got a big bottle of liquid latex. You can't put the paint pens over it. What type of gesso did you get? I'm just trying to grab the couple that I have up here, because not all gessos are created equal. Gosh. Latex. I have a whole bunch of like stage makeup for like cosplay stuff when I was over which incidentally I don't know. I need to do something with my Twitch channel, but yeah, when I was doing game streaming full time over on Twitch, I used to dress up like some of the characters that I would play and play as the character. So one of the characters in the game I used to play is this really horrible, fat, gross, ugly clown. And I dressed up as the character and played him in the game. So I have a bunch of stage makeup stuff. Artist Loft Slow Drying Gel Medium. Yeah, that is not the same as Gesso. Slow Drying Gel Medium. That might actually be a thickening agent for paint. So like if you're working with a matte paint but you want it to have a shiny finish to it, you can mix that into your paint. But I have a couple different, well, this is the watercolor grounds. I actually prefer using this over like on like some of my my wood panels, so that I can paint with watercolor and gouache on my wood panels. And I've used a couple different gesso, I keep saying gesso. So I have the Liquitex Basics. This is for acrylic. It is clear, but this one actually dries with a grittier finish than this. So this I had better luck with in the book, but I ended up with the pooling issue with the markers, because then the thing is, like, it's clear, so you have to put a coat on, let it dry for 24 hours, then put another coat on just to make sure that you're actually covering the entire page. Because that was the other issue that I had, was it's hard to see to make sure that you're getting it over the entire page and that you're getting it over the entire page evenly. And then part of me is like, how much do I really want to use my alcohol markers in this book that it's going to take me 2 days to prepare to color a page? I'm not doing like I'm not selling my coloring pages, you know, like I just want to color. And I have books that are single-sided that I can use my alcohol markers in those books. So yes, it's an option, but it comes with caveats, and I feel like I'm not going to be shy about telling people that, like, because then I think people follow the advice that's kind of sometimes put out there as, oh my god, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it's not always the greatest thing since sliced bread. Okay, let me tuck these back in my chemical drawer here. And let me go back here and catch up. Let's see. Running out of it, someone suggested to get the gesso, and it looked pretty, and you're gonna add pencil over the top, but the pencils can't shade on the hard shot. Yeah, yep. I'm just trying to think, like, let me send it to me and let me take a look at it, and I will see if I can and I can figure something else out that might work over top of marker. Yeah, we'll see what we can come up with. Let's see. Do I have the olive green out here? You know what? Let's see what happens when we do this. Okay, I actually don't dislike that. So I think it would be... I don't know. I don't want to use black for shading. And since I use this brown color in other areas, I think it works. Ties it in. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So instead of using black to do my shadows, I'm using umber. Gotta wait for that to dry a little bit. Yeah, I feel like that looks much more dynamic in it. blends with the rest of the color palette on here. Okay, so since that part of the page is wet, and I don't want to drag my hand through it, we're going to come over here and work on the heart. I need to look at something here. I'm gonna kind of bounce around here. Pinky Red shirt is great. It looks so sinister. Oh, thank you. I gotta go back and do some more shading on it. But I gotta wait for a couple things to dry, and I'm trying to work on a couple different areas. But yeah, you missed my my rambling about using dark brown as my shadow color instead of black, and how much I liked the way it looked. Because I feel like I don't know, I feel like black shadows would have been a little too much. But the brown kind of like it ties it in. Cohesiveness. And this is the one of the greens that I am using on the other page. Lovely cohesiveness to it, to be fair. Thank you. You knew I was going to mention the C word. Oh, man. If I ever make merch, cohesiveness on a mug. Have you found your cohesiveness today? Oh, man. I have it's I don't know. I have so many ideas, and I feel like every time I get excited about something, and I put it out there, and then I end up, for whatever reason, like the crap hits the fan, and it just, so it's like I want to share my ideas and stuff like that with you guys, but then sometimes it's like it's better if I just do it and then announce it, because then I don't feel bad if I announce it and say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do this," and then I don't do it, like the whole evening stream debacle in the less than stellar comment I got about the schedule change. I'll have to go back and get those little fiddly bits later, because otherwise I'm going to be dragging my hand through. But I don't know. I'm trying to work on the sleep stuff, and I get to go try out a fun new gadget in a couple months to see if that might help. like to try and get this chunk done so it can dry before I have to go feed the cats. Oh my god, let me change the Christmas music! Oh. What? There. Does this have lyrics in it? It does. We don't want... Let me see. I want to try something here. I just want to bring in a couple different greens on this because I want I want it to look cohesive with my with my wizard castle on the next page. So I actually might have to dig out my regular paintbrushes and use one of my my detail brushes for some of these little areas. I don't dislike the way that looks, so. But we'll do that after we get our base layer down. I just wanted to try it out on a couple spots. That's a spicy kitty right there. It is a spicy kitty. Hi Thomas, how are you? Workday is almost over, I presume. Speaking of spicy kitties, not over yet. Sadly, just doing email stuff for the rest of the day. Yeah, that honestly, I mean, if that is the chill way to end the day, I'd take it. I'm okay. I'm tired and my spine hurts, but you know, other than that, and then I gotta take Joe to a dentist appointment this afternoon. I mean, realistically, I could just I could just tell him to feed the cats, but Luso gets medication at lunch, so I I I made him load the dishwasher, unload and load the dishwasher this morning. He comes he's on spring break this week. So he got up and showered, and I was sitting on the couch having my breakfast, and he goes out into the kitchen and I'm like, "Hey, are you cooking?" He's like, "Oh, maybe." And I said, "Okay, well, you can unload the dishwasher and load up all the dirty stuff in there when you're done." I didn't even ask. I was just like, "Oh, you okay." He unloaded and put things away, but I'm not sure if he actually um loaded the dirty stuff up. But I was like, you know what? Just do that when your pan from your food is. He made himself like French toast. I was like, just load all the dirty stuff up when your pan is cool enough to be able to put in there. Dishwasher's better than washing them. To be fair, that's true. That's true. Little does he know, he's gonna come to the eco park to take cardboard back with me at some point. I should do that tomorrow, but like, legit, I really need to like commit to an editing day. This whole like me just doing everybody's crap with no regard for my own stuff is. And it is a good day to do some art. All right, let's take a look here. Let me zoom us out so we can see what we've got. So still have some obviously some detail work. I need to do some more shading on the overalls in his shirt and on his arm over here because I haven't really finished that. I got to do some detail work on the brain up here. I gotta do. I mean, there's a lot of like little detail work. We got to finish up the heart and the grass. Let me do this before I. Is this like a goth Wizard of Oz? It's more like a, I call it dystopian Oz. So these guys are bad guys. Like they're here, I'll read the little thing in the back of the book. So it's his it's Kirby's take on all of these. So a lot of it is like heroes become villains in his versions and villains become heroes. So um L. Frank Baum's classic children's novel follows the adventures of Dorothy in a magical land called Oz. A tornado rips through Kansas, whisking away Dorothy and her dog Toto in their house and landing them in Oz. They follow the yellow brick road to the Emerald City to ask the wizard for help. En route, they befriend a scarecrow that needs a brain, a tin man that needs a heart, and a lion that needs courage. The wizard wants them to kill the Wicked Witch of the West. The witch summons winged monkeys to capture them, but Dorothy throws a bucket of water over the witch and melts her. Kirby's Oz is an unwelcoming wasteland patrolled by a terrorizing scarecrow, a Tin Man axe murderer, and a monstrous lion. In an epic battle to the death, Dorothy takes on electrified witches. Ooh, okay, I didn't even see that because that's going to change how I color the witches on the other page. Evil winged monkeys and skeletal soldiers. So yeah, largely a horror version, but I'm actually coloring this more of a. I've got like a dystopian vibe in mind. So a lot of my reference photos have been a lot of muted colors with like color pops, a lot of like heavy shadows, and like limited color palettes, like wasteland type deal. And I can't show you guys the other page yet, so this is actually a four page spread. So we're doing this section on stream until we finish it, and then on the side I am actually recording the other two pages. So members actually got a sneak peek of the other two pages in a members only video that I released over the weekend, called How I Edit. So they got a look at the program that I use to edit my videos and kind of what my workflow and my process is. And we used some of the footage from that I've recorded for the other page. So I edited some of that for members, which incidentally, I do have memberships. You can join the OnlyFlans for, what is it, $2.99 a month, I think I have it set at. Something like let me plug my memberships, and I don't even know how much I'm charging people. I honestly just kind of set it in to what I thought people might be interested in. Bye Rainbow Kitten. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's $2.99 to join the OnlyFlans. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate that. Yeah, I feel like I haven't quite hit the dystopian vibe that I'm going for, but I think some of that will come as I work my way through this. I think I need to do some more heavier shadows on the sides, but it's kind of you kind of gotta start with some base layers and then work your way up. And that's kind of the nice thing about these crayons is they're easy to blend, and as long as you're mindful of your hand pressure when you're doing your layers, you can largely avoid disturbing your base layers as long as you don't oversaturate them. So it's been really cool to get some of this like texture and stuff with the gray, and I have a bunch of work to do on the background and whatnot as well. But we've done a lot of like the brown and stuff over here last week, so I thought it would be fun to get into the color pop on this side. And I'm just kind of sitting here real quick, pondering over um, some things. But speaking of spicy kitties, I am honestly surprised that I have not heard someone screaming at my door. So I'm gonna take a quick break and go give the my spicy kitties their lunch. So I'm gonna throw the BRB screen up, leave music on for you guys, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alyssa was being kind of a turd, so I had to make sure that he ate his lunch and nobody else ate his lunch. actually think this does have kind of that, like Technicolor vibe, like from the movie when we transition from Kansas to Oz. So I think now that I am looking at this, I'm trying to figure out if this space down here, and I mean it's not a huge thing because it would be the color. Oh gosh, that sound made me think that something had. Wow, I thought something got tipped over. Um, if this is part of the Tin Man's leg down here, I could go either way with it. And more than likely what I'm going to do is darken this area up anyways with one of my darker grays. So it's not a huge deal. Coloring the grass seems very meditative. Kind of. I guess I was a little, like, locked in there. And it's nice because, like, I'm almost done with this base layer, and then I can focus on the details, and it's not like an 8 million year process with, like, with colored pencils. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, I apologize for that. I was waiting on a call from the vet clinic about Minerva's. Um, she had some diagnostics done last week. She had a abdominal ultrasound and a echocardiogram on her heart, and I was waiting for them to call me back about the results of that. So, good news, but also a couple things that I have to be concerned about. But um, yeah, we don't need to get into that. But unfortunately, I do only have about 20 minutes left, and then I'm gonna have to kind of stop for the day because my kiddo has a dentist appointment this afternoon. But we'll do a little bit more work. Oh, it's not the one I want. Where are you? Oh, I think my playlist stopped. I really like the oh gosh, I had an ad that took over my screen. I really like the way this umber plays with the what is this? The dark green. It just gives it a really nice like olivey color without muddying it up. Mrs. Branch, how are you? Oh, look at you with your little crown. It's good to see you. And thank you for the kind compliments. We're plugging along. Yeah, we've largely focused on this side of the page today. So, how is your day going? Oh, let's see. I think we need a little bit of this green. I think on some of these spots, I may even need to come in here with an even darker shadow color. Just on some of these, like the really deep spots here. Let me see here. Quiet morning, installing cable in your street, and you're out in the country, and there's only 6 houses. Ooh. Oh yeah, how's your doggy doing? All but 3 of his stitches have been removed, and even though they're still in, he's still getting fitted for his wheels on Monday. Nice. That's so cool. Did they have you like working with like a physical therapist or anything to get him used to being in the wheelchair or in the cart, I should say? I too am behind on videos. Rehab facility did the original measurements for us to order the cart, and now they'll be the ones to fit him. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad it wasn't just a like, oh well, here you go, have at it. You guys figure it out type deal, you know? Because I think they generally say like when you're first starting to get them used to it, you you only want to do a like a little bit of time in the cart at a time, and then you work up to longer periods. I usually try and put stuff on like while I'm making dinner. I'll set my phone up. Sometimes it ends up just being like listening to the video, but I was gonna say, oh, we can measure for it. Fortunately, the vet said the rehab place would be accurate. Yeah, yeah, that's honestly that's the way to go. If they're offering you the help and the assistance, I would be all over that. In fact, it's what I'm mostly doing now. Rock on. Yeah, I am trying to get uh diagnostics done and have an idea of like one whether or not Minerva is a candidate for the um radioactive iodine therapy. Um so she had her electrocardiogram last week, and um she has some mild heart disease, but they said it looks like her heart is compensating well, so they wouldn't recommend any treatment at this point other than just to monitor it and maybe just to keep track of like her blood pressure. And of course it'll change if she ever has to go under like anesthesia or anything like that. But they also said that it's entirely possible that the hyperthyroidism is um making it worse. Although right now she's doing well on her medication, but I would really like to offer her a more permanent solution. So hopefully Cornell will take her if she is considered medically stable. So oh, Mrs. French, I absolutely understand the struggle of it all when it comes to pets and whatnot. And yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, it's a little bit of a trek, and she will have to stay there for a period of time until she's no longer a little nuclear time bomb. And then she'll have to be quarantined for a period when she comes home, which is going to be tough. But I kind of look at it as, so in cats most of the time hyperthyroidism is caused by a benign tumor that grows on the thyroid. And cool, she's stable on the medication right now, but she's on transdermal medication. We had to switch her to that from the oral medication because she couldn't tolerate it, like digestive wise. But the tumor's only going to continue to grow. She's going to require medication for life, more medication as she ages and as the tumor grows. And right now, I pick up a script for her medication every about 2.5 months. And it's because it has to be compounded. Um, they only do small batches at a time. Otherwise, the effectiveness of the actual medication in the um the binder would not be as effective. And right now, with where she's at and her current dosage, that's anywhere from $300 to $400 a year. And it's me having to chase her. I say chase, but to mess with her ears. And you have to clean the ears like every other day, because otherwise it builds up and then you ruin the absorption rate of the medication. And so then regular blood testing, so every six months, if she's stable, we're doing like lab work. And that's stressful. So a higher upfront cost for a 95 to 98% cure rate. I'm willing to, um I'm willing to do that for her. She's 8.5, and it's not on it's not uncommon. I don't want to say it's not uncommon. It's more common to see hyperthyroidism in cats when you get into like the 14 to 16 age range. But with her age, it's more time she's on the medication, and with other comorbidities and things like that, I would rather just, I know a lot of people that I've talked to are reluctant to do the treatment because, oh well, my cat is clingy, and I don't think she'd do well. And I think we tend to sometimes in those situations anthropomorphize how the cat is going to feel and react. And so, I mean, Minerva, she sleeps with me. Sometimes she sleeps on me. So I've taken that into consideration, but I also kind of looked at it as short-term stress of her having to be hospitalized versus long-term me not having to mess with her and stress her out at home, and her not have to have blood work done every 3 to 6 months. And that's coming from somebody who also has hyperthyroidism. And I have been in treatment for the past like over 2 years, and I get lab work done every 6 weeks, and I'm over it. So in that respect, like, I want to do what I can for her to like minimize that. And I didn't mean to like take away from your own situation, Mrs. French. I just, you brought up the people who don't don't quite see going to that length for an animal. And I've I've heard it, people like, you take your rabbit to the you take your rabbit to the vet? You take your guinea pig to the vet? Like, I mean, they get sick. Why would what am I going to just leave leave the guinea pig here to suffer, Like, I just that's my philosophy. So, short-term pain in the rear for long-term quality of life. Absolutely. 100% agree, And it's like, I know that of course there's people who like, stop treating your pets like children. They're not human children. But is that respect, like, if my kid got if my kid got sick, I'm not going to not treat my kid, and I'm not going to cast him aside because it's expensive. Like, I made the choice to have a child. I made the choice to have to bring animals into my home. And it's just like, does it mean I have to rearrange certain things to be able to accommodate? But if you if you plan for the fact that something catastrophic is going to happen to your animal, because that's just life. Like, there's care credit in the US, and I have a credit card from Old Navy, and I get reward points on it no matter where I use it. So if I put my gas on my credit card, that's earning me like reward dollars. And while I can't use the reward dollars to purchase things outside of their chain of stores, I put large purchases on that card and pay it off, and I use those reward dollars to buy my kids clothes. And I have a what I call my house account. And I put money into that account every month to go towards things that happen to the house. Hot water heaters break, electrical panels malfunction. So I keep a money in that, and I've used it to pay off some of the exorbitant vet bills, like. And on top of that, I have also learned what I am capable of handling myself, in terms of managing my pets, and just I'm sure they talk about me at my vet clinic, but like I'm in there all the time between nine animals, most of whom have chronic health issues. So if there's a way to minimize it, I'd do that too. Yeah, like why wouldn't I? If she was older and had a bunch of other like serious diseases, if I could keep her stable on medication, I'd keep her stable on medication, like in that situation. But like in the current situation, if she's stable and qualified for the procedure, I will drive the 2 hours to Cornell and back. And yeah, that's my philosophy. And I mean, a lot of what I make doing the YouTube channel and whatnot goes into my vet fund. So but on that note, I think this is a good place to put a pin in our dystopian Wizard of Oz. There's a way things can get done. I had to drop most of the monthly art box and sticker box subscriptions. I'm sure your vet talks about how amazing you are with your animals. I'm sure they say that to me, but I'm sure that they talk about me. Um, I'm sure there's other things that are said, but I'm maybe a little more collaborative and willing to do things that other people are not willing to willing to do. Um, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I actually had one of them. She's like, "Oh, do you have a medical background?" And I said, "No, just a lot of hands-on experience with animals and my own personal stuff." Um, but yeah, I'm really pleased with the way this is turning out so far. I'm honestly at this point, I'm really thinking minimal pencil work on this. Um, we'll see, but yeah, I yeah, I'm really pleased with how it has turned out. So we will be back with this next Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for all of your kind comments, your support, the life chat. There is a little bit of the other page. I mentioned it earlier. Members got a sneak peek of the other spread, and a video will come out for that at some point. I'm working on a couple different projects right now. I'll have a flip through for you guys. Members will get it tomorrow, and it'll come out on the main channel on Thursday. But there's a new mythographic, Joseph Cadenbang, Dragon Spell. My book should be here tonight, so you guys will have that, and that'll actually give me some time to work on a couple other projects throughout the week. And I think I got Chloe Rose Art's Color Your Own Adventure book, which will also be here today. That I think is going to be a members only videos for that, but I think that'll be something that we start over on that side of the house. I don't know how well it would do on the main channel, but I would love to be able to work in that book. So I think that'll be a good members only kind of thing. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next one.